Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. If a counselor gives two tests and the correlation between them is 0.80, what is the true variance they have in common? A, 40%, B, 64%, C, 16%, D, 80%. The answer is B, 64%. The little trick I used, even though math is not my strong suit, is 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 8 equals 64. And that is the true variance that they have in common with these two tests. I would personally recommend looking up equations that can help you with statistical questions like this. A middle-aged lawyer experiences pervasive sadness, bouts of crying, anorexia, fatigue, anhedonia, and disrupted sleep for 8 weeks. Which of the following abnormal sleep patterns is he most likely experiencing? A. Hypersomnia. B. Dreams involving the client's death. C. Early waking after initial sleep. D. Somnolence in the early part of the day. The answer is C, early waking after initial sleep. This is one of the abnormal sleep patterns he is most likely experiencing because he has not mentioned any dreams involving his death or any hyposomnia experiences or symptoms. Nor is he experiencing any somnolence in the early parts of his day. The sequence of object loss, which goes from protest to despair to detachment, best describes the work of A. Freud, B. Adler on birth order, C. Erikson, D. Bowlby. The answer is D. Bowlby. The work of sequence of object loss, which goes from protest to despair to detachment, is Bowlby's work. This sequence can be seen in most children when they lose a toy that they really love and they protest that they do not want to go anywhere without this precious toy, to despair, crying about the loss of the toy, and then later on they are detached from the toy. I remember a story from where my mother told me that when we got in trouble, she took our toys away from us and hid them. We were in protest and then we despaired about it, and then later on we forgot about the toys and we moved on, so we became detached. What is the 7th level of multicultural awareness continuum? The 7th level is the necessary skills and techniques required to counsel diverse populations. When counselors are first learning the techniques and methods used, it is a prerequisite for us to learn about the multicultural process and to gain a general competence in counseling. It is also required that we take multicultural counseling courses to complete our internship requirements in order to achieve general competency. And as counselors continue to grow and develop, we often revisit multicultural courses as continuing education to make sure that we are up to date on any new techniques or approaches that can help clients with different cultures from our own. A counselor who is seeing a 15-year-old boy who is not doing well in public speaking class would need to keep in mind that A. In general, boys have better verbal skills than girls. B. In general, girls possess better vocal skills than boys. C. In general, boys possess better visual perceptual skills and more active and aggressive than girls. D, B, and C. The answer is D, B, and C. A counselor who is seeing a 15-year-old boy who is not doing well in public speaking classes would need to keep in mind that, in general, girls possess better verbal skills than boys, and boys possess better visual and perceptual skills and are more active and aggressive than girls. Keeping these two statements in mind, the counselor can help this client work on his verbal skills via practicing his speeches In addition, the counselor can also refer this client to speech therapy if it is needed, but the counselor can help this client build the confidence of this client to help speak in front of groups of people little by little until the client is comfortable enough to do so on his own terms. That is all 5 questions. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.